All right, what's going on, you guys? This is Big Sam with Positive Warrior, and I wanted to go ahead and put my 2 cents on the Kyle Rittenhouse case. As you may or may not know, the case is still undergoing. Kyle Rittenhouse bravely took the stand in his case, going ahead and testifying on his own behalf in a murder trial, which is actually pretty rare. And I just applaud his bravery for doing that because anything could go wrong. Like it's very, very easy to trip up. That's why it's so rare in murder cases. But what happened basically on that night in Kenosha was just very interesting, and I wanted to try to go ahead and basically discuss and put my 2 cents in because I do feel that everybody who puts forth their voice into sticking up for this kid will ultimately be one more step towards going ahead and having him walk free. I do believe people listen. I do believe the mob or the general the crowd, the mob, the people, right? In Gladiator, the if you what is it? What is the main win over the people and you will win your freedom or something like that. The actual people, the mob, if you change their mind, if you go ahead and you make your voice heard, I do believe that affects the outcome of this trial. Voices need to be heard. It needs to be known that there are people who have this kid's back. I'm one of them. I hope that he walks free, and this video is hopefully to do just that. To explore the motives behind to explore why I think Kyle Rittenhouse should really be walking free, we have to explore basically one thing. If Kyle Rittenhouse would not have defended himself on that night, would he be dead today? Because if he would be dead today, right, and if Kyle Rittenhouse would be going ahead and he would no longer be alive had he not defended himself, then that is a classic example of self-defense. It's called self-defense, right? Once again, if we prove that Kyle Rittenhouse, right, was reacting, what would have been dead had it not been for his actions, right, on that fateful night about a year ago in Kenosha, then it would prove that he acted in self-defense. Now, of course, so let's get into that, right? Let's get into discovering if he would have died. The very first case of people that I'd like to discuss is the people who he shot after he shot Joshua Rosenbaum, Mr. Rosenbaum. Okay, there's two sections of people that I believe he shot: Mr. Rosenbaum and everybody else. Two different people, two different sections, right? If you want to talk about the people after Rosenbaum, I don't even have the ear for it. They are guilty and they should be dead as Kentucky Fried Chicken, because the bottom line is they were going in without a doubt to kill him. Anybody who's been in a situation or knows anything about mixed martial arts or defending yourself knows that if you have a group of people coming, right, who are all attacking you at the same time, unfortunately, as nature has it, death is very imminent right around the corner. It is a highly deadly situation. If you happen to have a bunch of people attacking you at the same time who happen to be armed, you have a couple seconds to live usually. And yes, it really is like that. Especially if you have a mob of people. You can look it up. It's the facts. If you have a group or mob of people, mob of angry armed people attacking you, you only have a couple seconds to live. It's a very, very deadly situation. Add in to the atmosphere the fact you got protests, you have rioters, you have violent people bashing down, breaking businesses, bashing in windows, looting, rioting, setting things on fire, and basically turning the entire city of Kenosha upside down. So the atmosphere, you can assume guaranteed that the people chasing him with the intention of, there he goes, that he just killed somebody, get him. They had every bad intention in the world, right? And so my thing is this, right? Those people clearly had the intention of killing him. There is no question about it. And if he had not acted in the way that he acted, then he would be dead today, right? Because if he killed somebody and they were going after him to kill him, what does it mean get him, right? What does it mean? The statement, he just killed somebody, get him. What does that get him imply? right? It implies that you're going to kill him, right? In revenge, right? Logically, to avenge the death, right? Because if he already kills what is, are we following the logic here? If he killed somebody and we are once again getting him, right? It would appear to me, I would think that everybody, I think it's room to assume, room to conclusively assume that they're going to kill him, which is exactly what they were going to do, which is why the man had a gun before he was shot in the bicep, which is why the other man hit him in the head with the skateboard, right? It all comes to the same point, right? The kid was about to die. And now, just to show you how lucky he is that he didn't die, I'm going to show you this. Here is a BB gun's little demonstration for you guys. Don't worry, YouTube, this is not a real gun. This is a BB gun, although I do have some real guns. He went ahead, he went to shoot, and then coming in from behind, he shot the second person and had to wheel around and shoot him like that. So I would love to go ahead and do a little demonstration, right? How long it takes me to go ahead and shoot something, right? I'm running. I mean, that's hard. It's not easy, and I'm in a chair, right? And that was probably as fast as I could have done it. I almost broke my chair. I don't know if you heard that, but that's what he had to do, and to shoot like that with any sort of accuracy, he's lucky to be alive. So that's a case in point for those second people. You cannot sit here. Hold up. You cannot sit here and argue to me that that wasn't self-defense, that he was in imminent danger, in imminent physical deadly danger, use of deadly force, acted against him. One of the convicts had a gun. I don't even know why he's on the stand. That dirtbag should be behind bars, the one with the gauges, the one who survived, the one who was shot in the bicep. There is no question about it. Which brings us, we've cleared off all those charges against all those dirtbags who came after Joshua Rosenbaum. So let's now discover Rosenbaum. Rosenbaum, on the other hand, was a convicted sex offender. He'd already raped a minor. Okay. And he was in and out of different rehab facilities. He had a long list of misdemeanors as well as different, I think he might even had a felony. He was a bad dude, on and off of drugs, in and out of jail. He was not a good person. He had been led astray. He had gone down the dark path. He had gone down the wormhole. He had shook hands with Satan. He had sold his soul to the devil. Use whatever analogy you want. He was a bad person with bad intentions on that night, with deadly intentions on that night. Make no mistake, he was one of, if not the most violent person in Kenosha, in that city on that night. By looking at him, just the videos I see, based off of my emotional intelligence and what I could tell, is that he had every intention of being absolutely deadly violent. He threatened violence. He threatened to cut their hearts out. He threatened violence and threatened death to them on many different occasions. He said, if I catch you alone, I'm going to kill you. These are things that were once again, we're not talking about in Walmart. We're not talking about at the mall. These are things that occurred when this man was under the auspices of a riot, of a full-blown riot. Right? So therefore we know that he meant bad intentions. This is one bad dude. So here's the question. The rub is, what would have happened if he had, because he was chasing Kyle Rittenhouse, right? He chased him behind a car, and I guess he cornered Kyle, and Kyle turned around and he shot him in self-defense. The question is, what was he chasing Kyle Rittenhouse for? What was his intention? Well, his intention was clearly to harm him. But at what point, how much harm, and the reason why I was chasing him to harm him was because he had just put out a dumpster fire, right? So Kyle Rittenhouse put down a dumpster fire with a fire extinguisher, right, which was being attempted to push into a gas station to blow the gas station up, presumably. Kyle Rittenhouse put it out with an extinguisher. Joshua Rosenbaum went ahead to chase him, and apparently to do what? What's in this man's mind? He had previously, to move in the dumpster, he had already went ahead to try to kill, he had threatened to kill them. Mind you, no motivation to doing that, right? No motivation to doing that. he was just there carrying this AR-15, trying to help people, right, but protecting himself. And there was just no, right off the bat, Rosenbaum was immediately being the most aggressive person on that night. So that was without, he was already threatening death without having something to blame him for. Now, Kyle has gone ahead and put out a dumpster fire, right? So certainly Rosenbaum has enough fuel in his psychotic mind to go ahead and try to kill this man. He already said he was going to, and now he's going to do it. The question is, legally, do you have to prove that somebody was definitely going to kill you in order to react in using deadly force, right? Or is it enough to know that this person was going to fatally maim you or harm you in a sort of a very violent way, where you could be crippled for life, you could be damaged, injured for life, stuff like that, right? So I think, based off of my limited knowledge of the legal realm, you don't have to prove that someone's emphatically going to kill you. All you have to prove is someone is using deadly force against you, and in the subject of a riot, there was multiple people chasing him for that dumpster fire that he put out, right? And so therefore, it can be assumed that he was going to do serious bodily harm. And I think that's the key word here. Serious bodily harm is all we have to prove. And I think there's enough evidence here to prove that Joseph Rosenbaum wanted to go ahead and do serious bodily harm to Kyle Rittenhouse on that night, and that's what he was going in to do. If that is the case, then Kyle Rittenhouse reacted in self-defense, and that's all there is to it. And he should walk free, because this man was, once again, he was a deranged individual. He was a 36-year-old individual. He had already went ahead and he had already threatened to kill on multiple occasions, to cut their heart out, to chase him, to kill him if he found him. And now he's chasing him, possibly armed with a chain, right? This is basically a cut and dry case. Now, could we have to prove that Jason or James, or whatever the hell his name was going to kill Kyle? No, we don't have to prove that he was going to kill Kyle. All we have to do is prove that he was going to impair serious bodily harm on Kyle, which is enough. That's all you need. You don't need to prove that he was emphatically going to leave Kyle's limp, dead body. You don't have to prove that. All you got to prove is that he was going ahead and he was going to physically maim, seriously harm Kyle to the point of possible death, to acquit Kyle of all charges. And that's the video I'm probably running out of time. That's the video I'd like to put out. Kyle most certainly deserves to walk free, no question about it. And that's all there is really to it. He reacted in self-defense, and there is really nothing more to say about it. And he's lucky to be alive today. Hope this video shed some light. These are my 2 cents on the matter, and I hope it goes viral. Hope Kyle Rittenhouse gets free.